Hi, and welcome to the iFinity YouTube channel. And this video we put together for users of the iMIS CRM database who also have WebFormZ form builder, and where they want to learn a little bit more about how to build e-commerce based forms. And we'd like to show off all the new features and functions relating to the new ability for forms to deal with online joining and payments of dues and subscriptions, and also payments of order items. So what we're going to show you is how you go through and build those kind of forms and how you deploy them in WebFormZ. Okay, what we're looking at now is the WebFormZ definition for the financial elements of a form. And you can see if we go to our sample form, which is available in the example portal, we're opening up the order action example, and we're going to show you how the payments is configured. So the area the payments is all configured is under payment settings. So the first thing you do is go to payment settings, and having gone to payment settings, you'll see the first section is asking you for the iMIS cash account details and the batch number. The batch number isn't an actual number, but it's a prefix to the batch, and the cash accounts are your standard iMIS cash accounts. Next, we're going into payment options, and in the payment options we've got two choices: direct payments and check payments. There'll be others turned on in the future, but that gives you the ability to configure those particular pages. Underneath you have payment prompts. In the payment prompt section you have three different sections for the shopping cart, the payment page settings and payment type settings. And by playing around with those configurations, you can get the payment page looking just the way you want it to. Particularly the prompt sections allow you to define the HTML that you need. So looking first at the batch control, you can see that you have to have iMIS already set up with your cash accounts for this to work. So the best thing to do is to go into iMIS, check that payments is working in standard iMIS, check everything's working using standard WCM, and if it is, then configuring WebFormZ will be a very easy process. So let's take a look now at direct payments, and you can see that the information window allows you to choose a particular CSS for that section of the page if you want to get your designer to work on something special. Otherwise you can take the one that comes as standard out of the box, and you can configure whatever HTML you need to be on those pages. You can configure the title in each area, and you can give special instructions about currencies and about which credit cards you take and about what payment types you prefer, and so on, using the configuration options. In this section we're going to look at how workflow within a form is driven by status changes. There are lots of different status changes in the system, but we're particularly going to look at the status changes that drive the creation of order items and subscription and dues items. Okay, in this example of the status change action for the orders system, you can see that we've got a number of rules, and each rule has a status change configured so that something happens when you go from in progress to submitted. In this case, you have access to all the different iMIS products, and you can choose the amount and the quantity to buy for each of those products, and you can choose based on a where clause which particular condition has to be met before that subscription or that order is charged into the shopping basket. Okay, let's look now at how we determine what subscription to charge by setting a subscription action. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is add a status change. So the status change will be we charge dues when it goes in progress to submitted. The action type that we're looking for is register subscription. You can then get the options which relate to the subscription. You get access to all of the iMIS different subscription types. You can set an amount for the subscription. If you want to send out a confirmation, you can choose an email template, create an activity record automatically, and then it's usually the case of putting a where clause, so you can say that subscription is charged in this particular set of circumstances, and in this case when one particular field is equal to a particular value. And then you can save that and then add additional rules that cover different subscription rates under different circumstances, and update the system. Okay, to summarise this section, the first thing you need to plan is under what circumstances the subscription action should run, what the status should change from, what the status should change to. After that, you need to work out what conditions there are that are special. Do you run the subscription all the time, or do you only do it for particular types of categories or in relation to particular answers to particular questions? And then, lastly, you need to determine what kind of communication and what emails are run and what acknowledgements under particular circumstances. Okay, let's now build a form. It's good practice to save before you build, and all you need to do to build is just click on the build button, and the system will take care of building all the business objects, building the IQAs, and building the web content if you've got web content to build as well. Okay, now let's fill in a form on behalf of a member. So we click on complete a form, choose the form that we want to complete, and then having done that, click on select and find the member that we want to complete the form on behalf of. In this case, last name equals TI. Click on find, click on the member you want, and then the system allocates a submission reference number. You can then use any of the pages or fields on the form. I'm going to choose a couple of options. The form fields are related back to membership, subscription items and order items, so we'll make some choices there, decide which ones we want. Each time we choose one, it runs a rule. Click on payments page, and we can then see the subscription pages and decide how we want to pay. Let's take a look at the basket now. Each time a rule has worked to create a subscription item or an order item, it's added straight to the basket. Now we're going to open the form builder again and take a look at the settings under the CMS tab. Okay, what we're looking at now is the CMS tab, and you can see that the WCM subtab has all the options. If you want the form to appear on the web, you make sure that Create Sitemap Links is checked. You can put in the text that you want to appear inside WCM, and you've got quite a lot of control over what's shown. All of the iMIS websites are available, so mostly you'll click on the one that says member, but there are others. Each time you make a choice, then the screen will refresh, and each time you refresh it'll show you more information. So you choose the sitemap folder. Also, you need to make sure that you have all the pages checked that you want to appear on WCM, and to make sure that the content folder and the other folder is chosen. Click on in our particular demo, we just click on demo, but yours will be different to this. But make sure you choose the right content folder. We're now looking at the form settings again, and each page that is shown and published to WCM has its own tab. So the apply page contains the preliminary information that you want to publish to show people all about what the form does. It's optional, and you can change any of the HTML there, or put in your own HTML to present the form options. And then you go and do the same thing for the form page, Form page acts as a kind of envelope to the form, so everything you put in this HTML section appears on every page of the form, and you can see quite a lot of controls underneath for different CSS options, so everything about that form page you can change. The confirmation page is presented after somebody clicks on submit, and make sure that you take a look at all the different mail merge commands that you can use within the confirmation. So everything from the submission number to their name, thanking them properly. You can create a whole kind of mail merged presentation to say thank you when you make the confirmation. The view form page is what appears from the view form iPart, from the WebFormZ iPart, and this shows a read-only view of the form. The error page is pretty self-explanatory. To make the form usable in WCM, you need to first set the security permissions, and you can do this in the form builder under the security tab. Okay, so click on the security tab and you'll see there are two different types of settings. You can either use a pre-configured security set, and this is useful for when you finally publish the form live, or if you want to restrict the security to particular types of users, you can then specify by name, by group, and by membership type, amongst a few other things. So you have a number of options, but if you don't set anything there, nothing will show at all on WCM, and you'll try and work out why your form is missing. Okay, let's take a look at what the form looks like now in WCM. Okay, we're looking at the standard iMIS website in WCM, logging in, and first thing I'm showing you is a list of iParts. There's about 6 or 8 WebFormZ iParts in a library which you can use in any way you want to within your own profiles. The way we've laid them out here is just an example of how you might want to use them. So you go onto the form, see the apply page, click here, it can be a link or it can be a button, and then you get onto the first page of the form. Each time a rule is run, you'll see a slight pause while the rule is processed and the screen refreshes. It'll then put in the pages that are available dynamically. You can go to any page. So in this case, we've got our 3 fields that each one of them is linked to a rule that chooses an iMIS product. So we're going to choose each one of them. Each one of them works independently, 3 different fields, 3 different rules. And so for this particular example, the screen will refresh 3 times. In practice, you'll be able to design your form a little bit more cleverly than that. Lastly, we'll go on to the payments page, which is displayed because of the payments rule, and you'll then see the shopping cart, very similar to the staff view. It'll show subscription items and orders items at this point. Choose to pay by card, and you can fill in the card details, and then finally, when you're ready to submit it, you can click on submit. There's also a pay by check option that lets you put a purchase order in. So let's pay by check and submit the form. You then get the confirmation page with a confirmation of the subscription reference number because we put that in the mail merge. Thank you for watching our short presentation on the e-commerce parts of WebFormZ. There'll be a variety of other films that we make to educate you on the different parts of WebFormZ and how it can be used with iMIS. Thanks.